It's the most universal ingredient, you know, on the planet. Because celery, I mean, what can't you do with celery, you know? First time out of culinary school, I made a soup. I was making a pumpkin soup at our sweet butternut squash soup. I think I was at Four Seasons at the time. And I did this whole mirepoix, you know, with celery and carrots and onions, huge batch. I put celery in there and it totally ruined the soup. You know, it has such a dominant flavor if you use too much of it. I didn't make it the most forward piece on the dish because I think celery has a very boring taste to it, and it needs kind of like that addition of other elements to the dish. But certainly it can be kind of, like I said, one of two ingredients on the dish that really are showcased. So this is guinea hen from 4-Story Hill. So we're just gonna let this hang out in the bath for about I don't know, 10 minutes or so, 62 degrees. We have some thigh here. In the beginning, we made a nice court bouillon with chicken mirepoix. So it's basically like a chicken broth, chicken soup. So this has already been cooked, it's already soft. And we're just gonna reheat it real quick. This is the celery root puree that we made. A little milk, a little celery root, onion, shallots, garlic. We cooked it without any temperature, without any color because we want it to be nice and bright and white. A little foaming butter going on. Some shallots, a little garlic. Brunoise apple. This is Granny Smith apple. And hit a little calvados.
Can you remember your first experience with celery?
Definitely raw celery when I was a kid. I've always had kind of this aversion to raw celery. But I remember my first encounter with celery.
Did it involve peanut butter?
Probably, and some raisins too. In kindergarten, ants on a log certainly come to mind, and that honestly was another one of my thoughts, you know, of doing something. But yeah, we're good. And what you're looking for is like all these little thousands and thousands of bubbles right here. You want nice even bubbles. Probably gonna come get me for the sous vide. And we're just gonna trim this up a little bit just to make it nice and pretty. I didn't cut it to a certain length before I braised it because I knew it would be falling apart. So I'm gonna trim this up a little bit. Get a nice little carve on them. I wanted it to be bright white because it'll be a good contrast for the rest of the dish on the plate. I don't actually sit down and ever eat my own dishes like this. It's kind of weird. Celery is a little fibrous, but it's not bad. I never really thought of it as such a superstar, you know. So.
This wasn't a big life-changing experience where you learned all kinds of things?
I mean, it made me think of celery in a more of a main course style. So, yeah. I mean, it's always good learning about food you take for granted every day, you know. Like I was saying earlier, I haven't met Lee. I've heard great things about him. I heard he's got an amazing chicken. But I figured I would welcome him to the neighborhood with a wonderful ingredient, durian, which I have experience with because I saw it quite a bit in Vietnam. I've spent some time in Vietnam just on vacation. And beautiful country, but I distinctly remember the smell of durian on the curbside. I'm interested to see what one of those EMP boys does with something, an ingredient like that.